Kind of shocked. Northwestern didn't finish last.
No. Heck, they didn't even finish second to last.
It's kind of wild for them, considering, you know, they lost their coach, a year ago? And
Yeah, I mean, before we get into their 2024 season, let's talk about their 2023. Pat Fitzgerald, who was like the stalwart of their coach that had taken them to the Big Ten championship a few times, gets fired after all this crazy hazing stuff comes out. And like somehow that team recovered and went 8-5. Like they fired the coach in the season. There was discourse in the locker room. Like that, just crazy that they went 8-5 last year. David Braun, who took over in the season last year, was the coach again this year, his second season, and they went from 8-5 to 4-8, and it was really bad. This was not a good year for Northwestern. They won 2 games in conference, and it was against the 2 teams that finished after them in Purdue and Maryland. They just were really bad on offense. I think that is what it boiled down to. They scored 10 or less points in 7 games this season. Their 7 conference losses were all by multiple. Just really bad, except for when they played Maryland and Purdue, 2 teams that went a combined 1-17 in the Big Ten this year. So
powerhouses.
Yeah. So not really a lot to say in the positive for Northwestern this year. After you just said last year was a huge positive after the crap that happened, you know.
For me, I mean, the expectations at Northwestern are not there. They're zero expectations. So I feel like any win that they get is a big victory for them in the long run. They don't get a lot of them, especially this year. So I was a little more generous than you. I went with a C-, just because they're coming off of all that turmoil. I know they went 8-5 last year, but still, whenever you replace a coach who's done a good job, but then gets replaced unexpectedly, that's going to disrupt the program a lot. So I give him a C-.
Yeah, I wasn't as generous. I gave him a D. I thought it was a bad year. Their finish grade, based on our rules, they get a C-. So the final grade for the Northwestern Wildcats in 2024 is a D+. Just not a good year.
No, not at all. Not at all.